Hi, my name is Stephen McGee and I'm the author of Electrical Forensics. I'm here to do some testing on cell phones, and this is the cell phone that we're going to be using for the test. And you see it's almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and this test involves irradiating egg whites, and you can see that we've got a comparable volume of egg whites between left and right. It's the same batch of eggs, they've been strained. Actually see all the egg activity over here. So we strain the eggs through a strainer into a bowl, and they're nice and clean. And I want to show you that the consistency of them. So that's the consistency of the eggs. So the one on the left, this one is going to get irradiated by that cell phone for an hour, and it's going to be inside a Faraday cage to make sure that it's transmitting at high power levels. I'm just going to show you the control egg. We're not cross-contaminating anything. It's the same batch of eggs. They haven't been experimented on yet. You see they're very comparable, as you would expect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this batch of eggs. We can pour it in. This is what it looks like going in. So this is what is going to be irradiated by the phone. And we're going to pour the control one in. It's very fluid, flows very well. And let me lift up this tub so you can see how fluid it really is. It's almost like water. I don't see anything of significance in there, so it's been strained well. And the same with this one. So it's very fluid. It's flowing very well. Okay, so the time has come to take this phone. Here's our Faraday cage setup. So this phone is going to go down there. So we've got this inner cage, which is going to be without a lid, and then we've got this outer cage which will have a lid. And the reason why the inner one is not going to have a lid on it is we can't maintain the signal for an hour through a double Faraday cage, so we need to take the lid off the inner cage to enable us to get enough signal strength to communicate with the cell phone tower. So what's going to happen is this batch of test eggs is going to go right on top of the phone. We're just going to sit for an hour and be irradiated by the phone. And the reason why we're using an hour is that's the time I spend on the phone with my parents. So that's the experiment, and we'll come back in an hour and review the eggs and see what happened to them. Okay, an hour has passed. Our eggs have been irradiated by the pink phone for an hour. Let's see what we have. Okay, so these are the controls. I don't see any structure in the controls. The controls were kept in a Faraday cage away from this experiment in the same kind of environment. And actually the test eggs were kept with a cell phone that made a phone call for approximately an hour. So I'm not seeing anything too different in the eggs. They still seem to be quite fluid. There does seem to be some structure in this fluid that is not present in the other fluid. This fluid is relatively clear with no structure in it on our control. But we do seem to have some structure that has formed in this one. You can kind of see it sludging around right down there. So it does appear that irradiating this fluid from the egg for an hour does actually have an effect on it. You can definitely see the stuff in there. Still relatively fluid, although it's not like water. You can see that there is stuff in there when you move it around and let it flow over the tub. Okay, let's have a little look at our control again. I do not see that structure in the control. Now the control is still very fluid, still very like water. Let's have a little look. This one. I would have to say this one is a little thicker. Yeah, this is definitely more towards being like water. I think this is just a little bit thicker because of the structure it has. Yeah, I definitely would say that there's almost like a little bit of a jello sticking to the back of the tub instead of free flowing. I don't know if that's coming across on the video. I would definitely say that there is a difference between these two batches of eggs, and they were the same egg. They were processed in identical ways, and they only got separated when they were separated into each tub. So there does appear to be an effect, and that was what we were trying to achieve with the experiment. I hope you enjoyed the experiment, and if you're looking for more information on this subject, you will find it in electrical forensics. And if you keep watching, I will show you the time lapse of the hour exposure. I wish you the best of health, and thank you for watching.